To become a better leader, whether that's in business, in sports, or in life, and you haven't found a book yet to help you get to that game-changing aha moment, well, we have the book for you. Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. Tighten the Lug Nuts will help you get to that game-changing leadership moment. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks, or at 360managementservices.com. That's the number 360managementservices.com. Pick up your copy today and start changing your leadership styles.
Now, time for the show.
Check. Oh. Wow.
Do this look like work to you? Nah. Looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here. All of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah. All of this for me. Bottles over here. All of this for me. All of this for me. All of this for me. Life fast, life flash. All of this for me. All of this for me. All of this for me. Bottles bringing bottles down. All of this for me.
Hello. Welcome into the Rome Show. We are back after a week-long hiatus. I am Andrew Romanella. That is Rocky Romanella.
How you doing?
We are at Hamilton Radio, hamiltonradio.net, channel 2, facebook.com/The Rome Show. Welcome back. Welcome in. 7:08. We're a little late here on the start, but we don't care because our man Ruben on the ones and twos back there, our producer, told us that we can go a little bit past 8 o'clock. So if we need to, we will. So much going on in the sports world. There's so much to talk about today. I mean, so much to talk about, but in theory, not anything going on in the sports world.
No.
It's weird.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does suck. If you want to get in on the conversation, it's 609-807-2492. You can also chime in on the Facebook, jump in the comment section, or at Coach Romo24 on Instagram and Twitter. We'll get the Wide World of Rome Twitter back up and running sometime soon. Straight off the Rome today, Rock. It hits.
It hits home.
It hits home.
That's where it does.
And it hits hard. So we were on our Florida trip with the baseball program when we found out and things started happening with all of this coronavirus and the shutting down of sports and the professional league shutting down and everything along those lines. And for me, it was hard because, you know, I feel like I'm in the thick of the disappointment for the college athlete. And everyone's obviously the biggest name or the biggest thought out there is the NCAA tournament, March Madness, filling out your bracket, the 68-team tournament. But it's more than that.
It's much more.
It's every single spring athlete that didn't even get a chance to play their season. It's every single senior that didn't get a chance to finish their last game with whatever way it is. And at the end of the day, it doesn't always end happy and pretty for everybody. We know that. That's life. That's sports. Everyone understands that. But when it's almost out of your control, and it's not just you, but it's everyone, it's like this feeling of being lost because you understand why it's going on, but you don't agree with why it's going on, and you don't agree with the repercussions, but you have to deal with them. And we were fortunate enough to play 11 games this season. And this is the best start in FDU Devils baseball history since 2012.
Go Devils!
We won 7 of our last 8 games. We won 4 in a row.
Horns up.
And 5 of our, I don't know, you keep yelling stuff into the mic, and I keep forgetting what I'm going to say.
Oh, I was just trying to hype it
I know,
up.
I love it. And we were playing the best baseball we had played in our 2 years with the program as a coaching staff. And to not have the ability to see that through for the players, the effort, the time, I mean, I don't think people understand. And with the spring sports specifically, because I feel for the dudes that didn't get a chance to play in the tournament and they didn't get a chance to play through the conference tournament and finish what they started, a team that maybe deserved, like a Rutgers basketball that hadn't been in the tournament in so long it was going to make a run, a Seton Hall basketball, which is close to home, that hasn't had a team this good where they actually had a national championship contender possibility, whether dark horse or not. Stories like that. I feel for those people. But spring sports at the end of the day is one of the most shortened seasons that a lot of people have to deal with, especially outdoor spring sports, because it's not warm yet. It's not warm yet, and that's why you have to go to Florida to play baseball. That's why you have to travel. And to not have the remainder of the 29 games on our schedule, to have to see our seniors play a game in March in Florida and have to make it a senior day, 11 games in, when they were going to be the leaders of what could be a program-changing year, to just wake up and say, all right, well, it's canceled.
I know. Listen, so I'll have two. I'm going to chime in on two things and I'm going to do two so that you don't get mad at me. And first, I'm going to say, being a former athlete, yes, I feel the heartbreak. Like, I feel for you. You just put yourself in every scenario that you played in growing up and then choose a midpoint where it got really awesome and then just be like, oh, wait, that didn't happen.
Right.
And be like, that's the closest you could feel to try and put yourself in their shoes, in your shoes. Right? So there's that. So I get it. I feel. At the same time, point two, isn't that sports though? What could have been? Like, what could have been that guy who didn't get hurt? Like, what could have been this? What could have been that? What could have been that team that made a run all the way to the championship game but lost? Like the Elite Eight team, like that everyone looks at, they're 14 seed, whatever. What could have been? Only one team wins the championship every year. So, yeah, that's great. All 8 of you think you're contenders. Dude, only one of you were going to win. And so, that heartbreak is always there. Yeah,
but the difference is you got a chance to play those championships.
Yeah, no, you get a chance, but I'm just saying, isn't that sports, though?
It is, but it's not.
It's just, it sucks. Dude, ref made a bad call.
Yeah, but you're correlating the referee making a bad call to not even having a chance to play out your entire season.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's different.
It is.
But the heartbreak's the same. You lost.
But heartbreak in any form is the same.
Yeah, but it's sports. There's there's people with could have had stories everywhere.
Of course.
Every person you work with could have.
But think about the amount of time and effort and energy, and it's not a could have been for one team or two. There's literally thousands upon thousands of athletes that just imagine just ending your University of Delaware hockey career just abruptly before you had a chance to play all the seasons out.
We lost 2 games versus Liberty.
We
believe if we won those 2 games, we would have went to nationals.
But you had a chance to play in those games.
No. We got those Liberty games canceled because of a snowstorm.
Okay, and then that's it. Your season ended.
Yeah, we had 2 more games, but they were the higher ranked team. So if we swept them, we would have been ranked and then went to the nationals.
But you said you had 2 more games, and then you finished your season.
But they were worth crap.
But how many games did you play that year?
We did not play 2.
Okay, you did not play 2.
Actually, it was 3. That was a 3-game weekend. We lost 3 games.
So on average, we don't play 3 to 4 games a year because of snow or rain or anything like that. Okay?
I'm not saying I don't get it. I'm just saying classic sports.
It's not classic sports. Classic sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to announce this year's champion for the World Series, the Stanley Cup, the NBA championship. Coronavirus.
Did you see the Rudy Gobert meme where it was like he should get the Defensive Player of the Year award now? He locked down the whole league.
Dude, he did though.
It was his fault.
There you go.
This is all his fault.
It is. If he didn't test positive, we'd still be playing. It was only a matter of time.
Yes, but despite your comments, because it's hard when you're in it. It's hard to look at it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a waste of time because nothing's a waste of time. But at the same time, you spend 9 months to play 2.5 or 3 months. We don't have a home field.
No.
We spent 5 weeks in a gym or practicing on a football field to be able to play 11 games outside. And that's it.
Let's say
over.
Let's say in 2 weeks. Let's say we see the spike
it's
that
not
they're
going to
talking
happen.
about. And let's say we were flawless at this preventative action, right? And at the end of March, stabilized, and April 1st is like, hey, just want to let everyone know we can resume normal life.
So then why'd everyone cancel stuff?
No. I'm saying because they're probably right. It's not going to happen. But let's say they did. If you're the NCAA and you're these people that have canceled seasons, could you bring them back?
No, it's just not. It's not possible. You cancel when you cancel something, it's over, with no chance of return. And if you wanted a chance of return, you would have just simply suspended all play, like the NBA did, like the NHL did, like the MLB did. They suspended play.
Suspended.
Right.
Different than canceled.
Then canceled. Because
But,
canceled, I mean, and I agree with you. In theory, yeah, why couldn't we just get everybody back? But you got to remember, it's a trickle-down effect.
Is there
Certain
a-
schools might be able to, but certain schools might not because presidents rule differently. There are different rules in place for each school, different protocols you have to deal with. Each conference is different. What the NCAA probably does, although you had a good point about the NCAA, which I want you to bring up in a minute, but what the NCAA probably does in terms of the setup of their championships, it's probably almost nearly impossible to cancel it, tell everyone it's canceled, and then 2 or 3 weeks from now be like, whoa, yo, come back. We're actually gonna play these. That's almost nearly impossible.
I mean, we just challenge the call on cancel and say, you may.
I would love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could do it. I mean, I think you could figure it out. Like, why not the NCAA? If the NCAA is like, hey, we're cool. If you guys want to play, you can.
But I just don't understand. But then they would have just suspended play.
Yeah. That's too bad.
It is.
It sucks. And so the point about the NCAA that I was trying to make though before we even got on the show was about how if the NCAA wanted to stay true to its name, right? They would have kept college basketball and just let people gamble and watch it all day while they were locked up at home.
Yes. Just to make money off of
That's
the
right.
athlete.
Just the revenue. Like, oh, hey, there's a lot of revenue. out
I
there.
thought
Let's
that's
go
originally
get
what
it.
they were going to do.
I think that's what they wanted.
That's originally, I think, what they wanted.
That's because they were the first people to be like, we're playing with no fans.
Yes. Because there were conference tournaments having been played without fans at that moment in time already.
Yeah, actually, honestly, I think it was when Kansas backed out. That's what made the Kansas backed out before the NCAA canceled.
And see, for us in our level, at the Division III level, it's when Kane University baseball decided or Kane University in general decided not to send their teams on spring break trips. That was the first time when it was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then we were allowed to go on our trip, but then the whole time we were changing games. Teams were not coming. Teams were leaving early. And it was crazy. I'm not going to lie to you, I felt safer in Florida. 100% felt safer in Florida.
Yeah, I know. Every county in New Jersey has a case.
If you were sitting in Florida right now, no, you would not believe that this was going on. It's life as usual. There's no difference in the entire world. Probably couldn't find any hand sanitizer. Yeah, toilet paper everywhere. Normal. Life as usual.
Well, yeah. It's dangerous down there, though.
Well, I'm upset for the guys and for our seniors, the love that I have for those guys, what they did for our program, what they did for FDU baseball. For all the kids not to have a chance, we read a story on the way over here. Scott Van Pelt is doing something pretty cool where he's doing something called hashtag Senior Night. They're going to honor, you send in videos to Scott Van Pelt, and he's going to honor different seniors at the, what is the 11 o'clock Sports Center?
Yeah,
Scott
he does.
Van Pelt does?
Yeah. At night with SVP.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool.
Sports Center at night.
To find a way to do something to honor the seniors that really, especially in those spring sports, baseball, softball, men's and women's lacrosse, tennis, golf, men's volleyball. I mean, just so many sports, crew, so many that affected so many kids without the opportunity to see the fruit of the hard work that they put in, regardless of if, yes, sports does generally give you these moments where it's like, what if? But this is such a unique circumstance. I read a tweet on the way over here that described it all. You're currently living through a future history class.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool.
It's
not
cool
but
at all.
I mean, I like. I have a historical mind, so I like always to be like, I wonder what they're gonna write about this.
Yeah, but it is not cool in any bit of the slightest.
To be remembered forever is cool.
It is. To be remembered forever is cool, but that's not why. I don't want to be remembered as the coronavirus.
No, me either. But it's cool that when we look back, and
All
our
right.
kids are taking history class, and they're like, oh, they're reading about this. They're going to ask you, and then you have like experience to tell them. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to stand over in that corner for like 10 seconds.
I'm just saying everyone is sad right now, and it sucks. I get it. I'm taking it seriously.
Yes.
Working from home, the whole thing. But at the same time, there's some cool stuff that can come if you think about it like that.
That is straight off the Rome today. March 16th, 2020, 609-807-2492. If you want to get in on the conversation, facebook.com/The Rome Show 1/Andrew.Romanella. So many different ways you can listen. All right. So from the college sports to the pro sports, put a poll up on the Instagram. What people believe the first professional sport is going to be that will be back on and playing. Majority of people believe it's going to be baseball. And I understand that.
That makes sense.
The big debate with baseball is the 162 game season is very long. And people have already complained about the 162 game season. But there's so much money made over the course of that season, which is why there's such lucrative deals in baseball. It's almost impossible to change that model now. But 140 game schedule, 125 game, 30 game schedule, something like that, I think is very possible. The problem is, when does that start? Does it ever start? What's your line for how short a baseball season can be without it actually generating enough revenue to be worthwhile, A, and B, enough games to dictate an actual champion in a shortened season?
See, for me, I think it coincides with expansion of playoffs for baseball, right? Like if you're going to expand the playoff, I think that's when you're able to shorten the game because you're not going to extend, you're not going to change the calendar necessarily. But if you go down to 142, you can expand now 2, maybe 3 more teams, right? Maybe get to 10 or 12 per side, right? And then now you can have 4 rounds of 7-game series, and you give teams their due, right? Maybe a best of 3 play-in, but you go 4 rounds of 7 games and let baseball be played.
So right now, Major League Baseball says that May 15th is going to be the start date or somewhere around there.
Okay. So that's what, 15 games, 20 games?
So this year, 2020 was going to be the earliest start date in Major League Baseball history.
Well, that's because they can't have games going into November.
March 27th,
Yeah.
so that they could have the last game of the World Series. I think it was October 27th or something like that.
That's the perfect time.
Perfect. It's perfect.
It should never go past Halloween.
If you start May 15th, you're essentially losing 6.5 to 7 weeks of your season.
That's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So you can't go much past that. I mean, we're talking about the All-Star game being in the middle of July, right? So if you were to start June 1st, you're talking about 5 weeks to the All-Star break, and then you're down the home stretch. I know things have to be adjusted. That's just the nature of the situation. But at what point does adjustment actually turn into almost like a backfire? Like, are we losing money? Is it really worth donning a champion in a 100-game season, 120-game season? I think it is. But does baseball think it is?
If there was a strike and the strike went until February 28th and they said you get 2 weeks of spring training, we're going March 27th, no one would care that it was a shortened season.
Well, they've had strike shortened seasons before.
And so why does it so to me, I don't understand why that would matter in a play it at all, because to me, any casual fan is fine with 100 games.
100%.
No, there's not one fan of baseball out there who doesn't say, "Oh, 100 games, I'm in. Let's go."
I think that most fans would actually take baseball at a 100-game season every year moving forward.
I think you might sell more tickets to games
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
because
on that.
you'd minimize interleague play, or I don't know if you're going to minimize in game. I mean in league play.
Right.
But you're not going to minimize league play. So
Well, I think that you get rid of interleague play.
I'm not
I don't know
even.
if there's a need for that.
I know a lot of people are talking about baseball and the shortening of the season for baseball and how it's like really big, but I think it's more impactful for the NBA. See, for me, if I was the athlete, I wouldn't care if they either shortened playoffs this year for NBA or in the NHL or whatever it is. I'd be more upset if they shortened next season.
So, why? Why would they do that though?
If they allowed them to play the full remainder of the regular season in a full playoff format, and let's say they started mid-April or May 1st,
and they backed
and the
everything
NHL
up.
and the NBA said, okay, we're going to play just everything normal,
Right.
and we're just going to back it up.
I don't think you can do that either.
That's more of what I'm hearing than what I'm not hearing, and I think that's more impactful on the athlete than baseball. I think baseball's nothing.
I think baseball's in the best spot here because they have the opportunity to start their season, not be in the midst of their season. We have a caller on the line. I think I know who this caller is. Caller, please give me your name and why you calling the Rome Show.
Evan Mager, because we are desk buddies.
What's up, dog? How you doing? Thank you for
What's
calling the
going
Rome Show,
on?
dude. How you doing?
Welcome back from Florida,
Yeah, welcome back from, what was it, South Carolina?
South Carolina. I agree with what you were saying before. If you're not in New Jersey or one of these local states, you have zero idea what's going on in the world.
Yeah, 100%. And now I want you to give your coach's perspective on what's gone on and I know you put out an Instagram post today about it because obviously this was your first year as the head women's lacrosse coach at FDU. It's kind of unbelievable as a coach to have to deal with something like this. And the way I described it to my brother, Ev, and I feel like you're going to agree with this, it's like you don't really know what to say because there's not really anything to say.
No, and I think you hit it before. I've never met your brother, but I'm going to disagree with him really quick. That in sports, I think you go into every season never knowing what you're going to deal with. So you don't know about injury. You don't know about what players will last, what players won't. But you always have in the back of your head certain situations that you're familiar with that you know how to react to, or if those situations come up, you can react to it. This is well beyond anybody's knowledge. So to have to deal with talking to a player who has a broken hand, a broken foot, or some type of injury, alternating your lineup and changing those things, it's something that we've all dealt with before. But to have to go to a senior and say, I know your plan isn't to do your master's. You probably can't afford another year of eligibility. So after 5 games, your season's over and your career as an athlete is over. That's just not a conversation that I think you can prepare for or that you know how to go about. So I've been sitting at home with my wife the last few days, and every hour is a changing moment, and it's a new conversation that has to be had, that it's not scripted. It's not something you've practiced before. So you just kind of go off of, this is what I'm feeling, and this is how I'm going to hopefully help that student athlete at this point.
So you're telling me that as a coach, you can prepare. You've already prepared to say, hey, man, 4 games in, I'm really sorry you broke your leg. Your career's over. You don't have enough money to pay for another year. It's the same conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think in some
like
sense,
I'm not saying. Listen. I'm just hey, Evan.
emotional
I'm just giving you a hard time.
But I don't think. I've talked to players who potentially ended seasons. I've talked to seniors who I had a senior last year. Basically, she was a basketball player going into lacrosse season. Last game of her basketball career, tears her ACL. Lacrosse season's over. So having that conversation, no, you're not prepared for it, but it's a different entity in that a player knows there's a risk at being a student athlete. At any point in time, that injury could alter that. Nobody can talk about that some virus is going to essentially shut down the entire world for a period of time, which is totally out of their control. Injury's not in their control either.
Yeah.
But it's a known thing that in the back of their head,
it's
there's
possible.
potential that can happen.
Yeah,
Nobody's ever thought about, hey, in China, someone, could potentially eat something wrong that causes a virus that now travels to the U.S., and we have to have that conversation. But I agree, too, that it is a history class. I think it's the same thing if you look at a certain age category right now. History class talks about 9/11 because they didn't experience it. this is going to be the same type of conversation.
There you go. All right, so we agree on that. And by the way, I'm just giving you a hard time. I know it sucks. You know, you can't. It's not like I don't sympathize. I'm just saying, like I was just making the point that heartbreak is classic sports.
It is classic
right. You
sports.
love sports because of heartbreak. This is just a worse kind.
It is a worse kind. This sucks.
It's the worst kind, but it's there. It's there. You know, and no one ever thinks they're gonna lose until they get smacked in the face.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah. No, I listen. I can't disagree with that part. There's definitely heartbreak in sports. It's a different level of it. It's a different conversation, and I think, you know, a lot of people are praising, which I do. I praise the NCAA for making a statement as quick as they did. Putting out that all students in spring sports are going to receive their eligibility. What they do with winter sports, who knows? But I think a lot of that is nobody's factoring what is the percentage of student athletes that's going to have the ability to use that. It's been a constant conversation with my 5 current seniors, and I think that's going to be a big play into it. You're still going to have, you know, what does the senior do who has a 6-figure job coming out of school? Do they halt a year? Do they have the ability to halt a year to get the eligibility back? And I think a lot of that is going to come down to what is the financial situation of the family. So I think there's a lot more that needs to be spoken about. I'm hoping the NCAA gives out more details because, again, there's so much difference between D1, D2, D3, and a lot of these students are trying to make decisions right now because it affects coaches, it affects teams, it affects your numbers for the next couple of years. So there's still a lot of questions there, and I think the longer this goes without that information, it's a hard conversation to have, but I'm hoping that with more information it becomes easier, but I don't know if it will. I think that's what everybody's kind of up in the air. They just don't have a clue what this is.
The most underrated, disappointing part of this whole thing, Ev, is the fact that you don't get to see my face every day.
100%. I'm going nuts right now.
It was weird. I was there this morning, and it was just like eerie because it was like they're not going to be here. Pape's not going to come running in, and it's like, what are we doing? I'm sure no comments are going to be made to Lexi. I can't console her. Like, what are we doing? Like, like this is sad.
It's a new day of work. You know,
it is.
What do you wake up and you don't leave your house?
Yeah, it's
kind of depressing.
This is the easiest SID job I've ever had to do.
the shortest first year of coaching career in athletics ever.
It's crazy. Yeah. So what was that? 5 games for you?
5 games. Five
Wow.
games in, 5 games done.
Wow. I mean, I think I'm going to put in your bio, Evan Mager completed a third of an innings worth of his coaching career.
One of my buddies said today, does it count towards my record? I was like, it's a great question. I'm not really sure.
That honestly, that is, again, to your point though, so many questions that need to be answered. That's all a part of it. Yeah, that's all a part of it.
Right, and I think you guys started the conversation by saying, you know, it's a trickle effect. And what was the decision with March Madness? And I think at the Division III level, the biggest issue that was happening was there was no statement from the NCAA initially, and it was every school is its own entity, so make your decision. But the problem is once one school in our conference decides this is not safe, we're not doing it, you know, then the conversation becomes, okay, do we continue? And they're just out of that because they're not playing it. And my thought from the very beginning was, once a few schools, no matter what the division was, made a statement that they were now canceling, the NCAA needed to step in and make a full statement of what they are going to do. Because if pieces of schools and pieces of conferences were stopping play, you know, how can you continue that without the national level making a statement? So I'm glad they eventually did. But again, I think there's just still so many questions. As much as it sucks to hear today about FDU that we are completely done, I think a lot of that isn't negative because there were still questions from players of, well, what happens? Do we have a conference tournament still?
Yeah.
If we're conference champion, do we stop at conference champion? So I think there was just so many questions because so many different people were doing different things.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. 100% right. Well, listen, man, we appreciate you calling in. We appreciate you chiming into the show.
Man.
You are an always welcome member. Hey, you got some time. I mean, there's seats in here. You're more than welcome.
This is my new Monday routine.
This is exciting.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, guys. Enjoy the night. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, dude. Thanks, man.
Take care. Bye.
I'll tell you what. That was a fantastic call there.
Yeah,
from
no,
Ev.
very in-depth, informative.
See, that's what
Passionate.
happens when you get and that's an interesting case because that's his first ever year coaching college athletics. And he gets only 5 games,
What was their record?
2-3.
Not bad for
And they had just won like 21-2 versus Curry College. They were doing, I mean, listen,
hey, what could have been, you know?
yeah, we had some fun actually for all of their intros for their home starting lineup. You ever heard the Chicago Bulls entrance music?
Is it the same?
And it just like gets like heavier and heavier and heavier. And that was the first time we like used music during the intros of a team. It was, as the kids say, it was fire.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So
They do say fire.
yeah, they do say fire. Yeah, that's just like it's like YOLO, you know, when you were hip. All right, we're gonna take a break here on the Rome Show. Hear from our sponsors, pay some bills as we tend to do here on a Monday. It's Andrew, it's Rocky. We're taking you all the way, maybe slightly through the 8 o'clock hour, March 16th, 2020.
Are you looking to become a better leader, whether that's in business, in sports, or in life, and you haven't found a book yet to help you get to that game-changing aha moment? Well, we have the book for you. Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. Tighten the Lug Nuts will help you get to that game-changing leadership moment. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks, or at 360managementservices.com. That's the number 360managementservices.com. Pick up your copy today and start changing your leadership styles.
All right, back here on the Rome Show. Andrew Romanella, Rocky Romanella, Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. You can call us at 609-807-2492 like our man Ev just did. I was laughing at the break because our logo creator, Katie Fissel, made a comment that her season was actually the shortest at 0 and she's undefeated. And I had no idea. I was like, I don't get what it means.
I like it.
And Rocky informed me that's because she's now the head golf coach and they did not get to have a match.
Yeah.
So undefeated. So if that's the case, you have to count the records.
There you go.
You have to count the records, 1,000 winning percentage. That's fantastic. You can chime in on the Facebook as well, at Andrew.Romanell as well, or Instagram. We have some polls up, 2 more that we're going to get into right here in a second, on Coach Romo24 on the gram and Twitter. One thing I wanted to read before we went to the Instagram. So when Ev was talking, I got up the official statements from the NCAA on both all 3, the Division I, the Division II, and the Division III levels, okay? And I'm just going to read the Division III one because it's pretty much the same for all of them. The difference for the Division I one is that they have to deal with athletic money. So this is what it says. Today, the Division III Administrative Committee provided flexibility for schools to assist students with traveling, lodging, and meals as a result of campus displacements. The committee waived all requirement for sports sponsorship for the spring season. It also granted an additional season/semester of eligibility for student athletes participating in spring sports. So that's the Division III. Okay, and Ev made a point that I wanted to touch on real quick, which falls in line with this, is you get an additional season/semester. Yeah, that's great, but we had 2 grad students on our roster this year. They used their 10 semesters. They've been in school for as long as they can possibly be in school and still be eligible for athletic competition. So now, it's all well and good that you're going to give us the season, but some kids can't take that. Furthermore, even a kid that's a sophomore or a junior, right, or a freshman, they might not be able to afford that 5th year of school, especially at the Division III level. So I do like that you're able to give some money for traveling and lodging and meals and all that stuff because kids aren't living on campus anymore. They don't have a meal plan right now. They're either at home. Some kids that are from other countries might have to stay on campus, special circumstances. And then for the Division I level,
I have a question real quick.
Go get them.
Let's say you have the money and you stay. Obviously, if you played, football, soccer, field hockey, like that's 1 semester, right? You play baseball, lacrosse, that's 1 semester. What happens if you play a winter sport?
That's the problem. That's even more of a problem because you're a 2-semester sport, which changes the rules in so many ways.
Is there a clause?
Well, that's the thing. And again, back to what the point that Ev made. There's so much more verbiage that needs to come out on this situation because there are so many questions. Yeah. I'm a believer that they should change the rule. For example, if I'm a graduate student, in order for me to be a full-time student to play and participate, I need to be taking 9 credits or 6, but showing path to graduation. Okay?
That means, yeah.
Right? It makes sense. I think that's the rule that should be dropped.
Why?
You should only be having to take 1 class. Because if I'm a graduate student right now and this season just ended, okay? And let's say I look into next year and I'm like, I know I only have to take 6 more classes. Well, I'm not going to take any classes in the fall. Or excuse me, 6 more credits. I'm not going to take any classes in the fall. I'll take them all in the spring. Or I'll take 2 in the fall and 1 in the spring.
Yeah, but then that doesn't make you a student if you're not taking classes.
But if you're taking 1 class, you're still a student. You're just not full-time. They should waive that for a year for the graduate student that might have time left next year, but not enough time to be a full-time student.
So he's going to live near campus, on campus.
Why? He doesn't have to live on
He's
campus.
going to live in a house near campus.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
He is going to go to class twice a week for an hour and a half. So for 3 hours a week,
Yeah.
he will go to school for 12 weeks.
Maybe get an internship.
Then he
That's
will
a good idea.
Then he will take a 6 to 8 week hiatus, return, and then go to school for 6 hours.
Yeah, but play baseball. But he'll get an internship in the fall. He'll get a job, an internship. Like it's not like he's just gonna sit idle at his house. I mean, if he's got it that way, good for him. More power to him. But like, you know what I'm saying? Get an internship, build towards your future, take your 2 classes, get closer to your master. If you're gonna give me the year back,
Get your master's.
But if I'm already on my way, that's the point.
You'd rather them be lazy and go to practice.
No, I don't want them to be lazy. I want them to be attentive. So that's the Division 3.
Not in school.
The Division
Get
1.
an A, but don't go a lot.
Yes, that's true. Here's what Division 1 came out with. Today, NCAA President Mark Emmert and the Board of Governors canceled the Division I men's and women's 2020 basketball tournaments, as well as the remaining winter and spring NCAA championships. The decision is based on the evolving COVID-19 public health threat. Our ability to ensure events do not contribute to the spread of the pandemic, and the impracticality of hosting such events at any time during this academic and given ongoing decisions by other entities. So that was the official statement released by the NCAA. For the Division I, they've agreed that you are allowed to give appropriate relief to student athletes who participated in spring sports, same as Division III, except when they say relief, it's different for Division I because they're already getting money to be an athlete. Details of eligibility relief will be finalized at a later time. Additional issues with NCAA rules must be addressed, and appropriate governance bodies will work through those in the coming days and weeks. So there's not an official answer on how the eligibility is going to play out for kids at the Division I level with athletic money to their name.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the NCAA, don't care.
That's messed up.
Why? Athletes have been using me to go for 1 year and then make millions of dollars for the last decade.
Yeah, but
for the last 100 years.
The senior in college is the one you're trying to keep as the NCAA.
They don't care.
I think you're so off on this whole thing.
I don't think they care. I don't think that they care.
I think they do care. That's why they're granting eligibility back.
At the D3 level.
And Division II level.
Okay, but not Division I.
Okay, but Division I said there's going to be relief, just how much they don't know yet. It's going to happen. They're going to be able to get their year
They might
back.
pay him to not come back. And just keep the cycle going.
Well, that's the other thing is the freshmen that are coming in.
That sucks for them.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
I care more about the freshmen than I do the seniors.
I think it's harder.
Quite frankly.
I think that's messed up. And
Well,
it's
not if
cold-hearted of
I'm
you.
coaching. Not if I'm coaching, I care about the seniors. But like, there's just as many programs out there that feel bad for their seniors as there are programs who are like, good, get these guys out of here.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we have one guy that we're like, maybe a few, maybe, yeah. Like everyone has those guys. It's okay. It's like, but like, it doesn't mean you want their season to be cut short and then not have a chance to actually have a senior year.
No, it sucks.
Like you got to remember too, they're not on campus. It's not like they're not just playing baseball or lacrosse or football or whatever freaking sport, right? They're not on campus.
I'm just saying,
They're not
if you
living their
grant,
senior year.
if you grant another year of eligibility to a full scholarship kid, right, that then takes away another scholarship for someone the following year.
Well, I think that's why they're talking about money relief, because now if we can go tell a guy that can give us money to then pay off these freshman scholarships because this year is now backloaded.
Do they really need money relief from the NCAA? Some of these institutions?
I feel like everybody always needs money relief from
Dude,
the
do you think
NCAA.
Penn State needs money relief? Well, maybe because they got a lot of lawyer problems right now. But do you think Alabama needs money relief? Alabama funds the entire athletic department just through their football team.
Yes, I understand that.
Like, do they really need
But
relief?
you're talking about minority, not majority.
Well, we're only talking about Division One.
No. We've been talking about every division. That was just
No. We're on Division One right now.
right.
Though.
But you're also again talking about minority in Division One. Think about how many Division One schools need that relief. Take
A
the
lot.
SEC. Take the SEC, the Big Ten, and some of the Big 12 out of it. Take some of the ACC out of it. Right?
Listen,
You're talking about the small guys, the Richmonds, the
Yeah.
Riders,
the freshmen.
the University of San Francisco.
Listen, it'd be nice if the NCAA bailed them out. To be honest with you,
Yeah, it would.
it's not that I don't want them to. I
Yes.
just don't think that they're
They're
really nice
going
people.
to. The track record shows
That they're not nice.
They're not nice
that's
people.
That's why I keep going this way on all this stuff. I'm just trying to think the way they've. I mean, think about it. The NCAA has just been pissing people off for its whole entire life.
forever.
So why wouldn't it keep doing that?
You're right. You're not wrong.
And why? What are they going to do? They're doing the right thing. People are going to be like, "Oh, good job, NCAA." No one's going to care. They're going
No.
to say thank you for doing the right thing, and we still hate you.
That's facts. No matter what they do, they're going to be in a
Yeah.
lose-lose situation. 609-807-2492, Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1, HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2 if you want to get in on the action. What professional sport do you miss the most? Okay, going to the gram. First one, soccer. Second one, the NHL.
Yes.
Third one, the NHL. Wow. Fourth one, the NHL. I'm not
right.
lying to you. This is real.
Because people
is
like
real.
hockey.
They really voted this one.
I know.
This one even put a hockey stick emoji.
Do you realize that if you're a local hockey fan, you are in it right now?
I know.
Except if you're a Devils fan.
Well, how pissed is it if you're an Islanders fan right now, sitting 1 point out of the playoffs?
I'm more pissed as a Ranger fan.
Oh, you're so.
You know what? I'm sorry that I'm not. The New York. Okay, yeah, the Islanders. Yeah, we're excited. They're back at the Coliseum. We're gonna play all the playoff games there. Great, right? But you know what? That population of people is so small.
It is small.
It's
You're
very
not wrong.
tiny. And the young talent on the New York Rangers. I'm telling you. You're telling me you're not excited about the Rangers?
I'm excited about the Rangers.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
right.
saying I feel like you can agree that there's excitement around the Islanders regardless of the size of their fan base.
But I personally think the Islanders are underperforming.
Based off of last year or just in the town in general?
Based off of their under 500 or barely 500 records since the All-Star break.
Yeah, and they should be better than that. Yeah, okay.
I think that they're a team that should have been a lock that's holding on for dear life, whereas the Rangers are a team on the rise who really shouldn't be there.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point.
Which
out
is,
of you.
in my opinion, more compelling, even as a journalist.
Fair point out of you as a journalist. Oh my God. College baseball, right in. That's from a father of our team. NCAA softball. I do love the NCAA softball tournament. That is a favorite of mine.
It's definitely exciting.
It is a favorite of mine.
How come they will never make the field bigger?
I mean,
Do girls want the field to be bigger?
I don't know. I mean,
I'd like
feel
to ask. We should ask that. I think that's a real question.
I think it's a real question, but how much bigger would you make it?
I don't know. I just think that they're very strong. They crush that ball.
They do crush balls. I would say 70 feet on the bases.
It's not safe for the hot corner.
And I want to see some double plays turned.
No, they turn them. They're good.
They do.
They're
they
good.
do. The ball has to be smoked at you, though. You got to turn a double play in softball in like under 2.8 seconds or something crazy.
The infielders in softball have to be so quick.
So quick.
It's impressive.
So our softball coach is retiring, and I've been making the joke that I'm going to apply for that job next year.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
You're a baseball guy.
I know, and it correlates so much.
Well, it's the same game.
It is the same. It's same game as Jace.
Well, they have different,
They pitch differently.
They
Their
have
field
different
is
balls.
smaller.
They throw
Yes.
underhand. Yeah.
Some of them run out of the box when they hit.
Jen was good at that.
Yeah, it was slap hitter, they call it.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know if that's the right term for it.
It's more like a drag bunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a swinging bunt, really.
No, because they don't follow through. Well, sometimes. The lefties.
Yeah, they get that
Yeah.
little flick extension there. I'm missing a miss.
No, you're
softball,
right.
too.
The college softball tournament on ESPN every year. You always tune in.
Always. Everyone. And
I don't care who you are. You've tuned in.
and you've believed that Florida was going to be in the tournament. Absolutely facts.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Baseball. A lot of people are missing baseball right now, even though
It hasn't even started.
you'll like this one.
It had-
Curling. If you could guess the person that wrote that in, go.
Chris Rinaldi.
That's exactly who it was. PBR is on CBS Sports live the next 2 weekends. Let's
Really?
go. Yeah.
Good for pro bowling.
No. That would be the bull riding.
Oh, all right. Good for them too.
Good for
I think you said PBA.
PBR.
Oh, I thought you said PBA.
No,
My
PBR.
bad.
Isn't
Mike
PBA the
check.
card that you get so that cops don't give you tickets?
That's one of them.
Okay. Baseball, another baseball write-in. The NFL. Well, it makes a little bit of no sense.
Maybe they
'cause-
were supposed to write XFL.
Yeah, I think that's what they were looking for.
Yeah.
All right. What sport do you believe will resume play first? Now, we talked about this one a little bit the other day, but 70% of people voted baseball.
No, we talked about it tonight. That's what we
Second
talked-
highest
yeah.
sport.
Hockey.
Yep.
Because hockey's clean, even though there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, right. I don't know if it's about that, but yeah.
It's
partly about that,
They're
but more
just
of
a-
it's
it's
about the congregation of humans in the
more.
one area.
It's more about. It's actually just a well-run organization.
Yeah, well, you just love. Yeah, yes. Right. But I do believe.
Any chance I get to put down the NBA?
Facts. I do, but I thought they did handle things appropriately based off the circumstances at hand.
It's just annoying that it was the NBA, that caused it.
I know. I would have rather it just been international soccer.
Well, because it was going to be.
I know.
The only good thing about guys in the Premier League and La Liga that got quarantined is that they don't play any teams in America.
No, so
Rudy Gobert literally played in three arenas the week before.
and was touching all the microphones that people
Three,
talk to.
yeah, and he played in Madison Square Garden.
I know.
So not, and he played in Boston, and he played in Cleveland. So, wait, so those are 3 NHL arenas, and where Cleveland plays basketball is where the AHL team plays.
I did not know that.
And then so now it's gotten to 3 leagues. Oh, by the way, yeah, the Big East tournament was in MSG a couple days later.
Yeah.
So there it goes. Now it goes into college, like
Rudy Gobert ruined it for everybody.
Everyone.
It is really sad. Like, it's super disappointing. But to finish the point, I think the NHL has the best structural organization out of all 4 major sports. And the funny part about it is, think about how many years people hated Gary Bettman.
well, everyone still does. I don't know why. People don't like him because of the lockouts. I mean, but the game's better than it's ever been.
I know, and that's why I don't understand.
Youth hockey's growing at a rapid pace.
And they're all connected to professional organizations.
And there's more USA hockey-born players in the NHL now than there ever has been before.
All right. So I've been excited to get to this topic, and I really want to hear what people have to say about this. Okay, so get on the Facebook, get on the gram, get on Twitter. Your wife wrote in drag bunt. I guess that's just what she probably calls it. Slap hitter, though. Got to come up with a better term than that. I think
Drag bunter.
No. Run hitter.
Runner.
That would be what happens when they get on base.
Yeah, true.
So I asked this question. All right. It jumped up. So we were at one of our niece's birthday parties, okay, Penelope Rose, on Sunday. And my brother, myself, our brother-in-laws, my dad, we got locked in on Game 5 of the 2000 World Series between the Mets and the Yankees. Al Leiter on the hill, 2-2 game into the 9th. We got locked in as if the game was live and there was a chance the outcome could be changed.
I thought the Mets were still going to win.
I felt it. And honestly, though,
I believed in Al Leiter.
now I believe in Al Leiter more than I ever did, throwing 142 pitches that day.
Dude.
But Bobby Valentine.
Bad. I know.
Terrible.
He lost the game.
Terrible.
We should have fired him then.
Then do yourself
Are
a
you
favor.
kidding
Watch
me?
the game. You'll see.
Oh my
Terrible
God. Al
decisions.
Leiter is literally 9th inning, and he's got 2 outs, and he's thrown 127 pitches, and he walks. I can't remember who he walks, and we're all like, take him out. Take him out.
I think we walked like Bernie Williams or something like that.
Then he gives up a single, and you're like, take him out. Take him out. Pitch 135. Pitch 136.
And Johnny Franco is warming up in the bullpen, by the way.
Yeah, best closer in Mets history.
And
I
most
won't
saves-
say ever because I know.
Most saves as a left-handed closer in MLB history.
I know the guy's the man. No one's ever been able to save a game since
You
he
know,
left.
our closer at FDU is named John Franco.
I do.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, I follow you guys on Twitter.
Oh, Q's gonna be amped to hear that.
Yeah, nice. That's how I know.
That's funny.
I go
So,
to-
anyways, he leaves Lyle Leiter and he gives up the 2 runs and should have gone to John Franco, and the Mets lose. So this sparked a debate.
We were
not
really into it.
not necessarily a debate per se, but now that sports are on hold for what seems to probably be 8 weeks, is the minimum. It feels like it's the number you see everywhere. What is your choice to watch now that if sports was your go-to? So whether it's an old game, we started talking about what game would we want to, if we had a chance to go to any game in history, what game would we go to in history? I said the 86 World Series, ball between Bill Buckner's legs. I'd love to see it live. And I threw the caveat in there. Everyone in the crowd would probably be drinking beers and smoking cigarettes, and we'd be going wild together.
True.
That's what I believe. Yeah, that's what my choice would be.
Game
Fire-
7, 94 Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Rangers.
Who was it? Was that when Messier scored the goal?
Messier scored. He had a hat trick in Game 6 to beat the Devils, which we then finished in Game 7.
You wouldn't want to go to Matteau.
No. Well, yes, but no. No, I'd go to the
Matteau.
Cup, man. I'd go to the Cup for
I
sure.
agree with that
It's Game
100.
7. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So we then threw it on Instagram, okay, and we broadened our horizons. What is your go-to TV without sports to watch? Okay, and that's a broad category. You have a lot of options there, okay? We got a lot of good answers, all right? Starting with Disney Channel, or Disney Plus now, obviously. HGTV, which I feel like is a go-to for a lot of people. The Office, probably a heavy go-to for a lot of people. The Crown.
Interesting.
Homeland. I don't know half these. Twitch. I don't know what that is. What's a Twitch?
I don't know what that is either.
Okay. Anime.
That's cartoons.
He's
like Dragon Ball Z.
Hey, yeah, all right. Word. YouTube. That's fair. I think a lot of people are browsing YouTube.
You can't read the next one.
Why not? Am I allowed to say it?
Is
Why
it-
not?
is it-
We're all adults here. The next one is porn.
I knew it.
Oh, I want you to guess
It's
who.
Chris Rinaldi. I already know. I'm not dumb.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. I can't handle it. Cops. That's a good follow-up. And the last one is Amazon. That's probably a lot of Amazoning.
Well, Amazon Prime, they got the video.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Wow.
Good show in there, 000.
To where our world has come. Wow. So that's what those people watch. What's been your go-to now that you're no longer going to be able to watch sports for the next about 8 to 12 weeks?
I've been doing a lot of coronavirus watch. Very into it, monitoring all stats and
Like
figures.
the stock market.
That's right. I have got into 000 on Amazon Prime with Jen. It's a real,
I heard that's really messed up.
it's crazy. It's a good drug cartel story.
Would you say that the amount of deaths in that show mirror Game of Thrones?
Not quite yet, but soon.
Okay.
The gruesomeness, yes.
Okay. Oh, really?
Equally gruesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's a preparation you have to have as a human
No,
being
it's
going
equally
into a
it's
show.
equally gruesome and graphic when it comes to the deaths.
If you're going to sit on your couch expecting to watch a show and you're not prepared for some of the things that you might see, it really changes the viewing experience on a new show.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it changes the way you think about that
Gets
show.
aggressive.
Yeah. So I'm on Breaking Bad right now.
I can't get past the third season
So-
or second season. I can't remember which one.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. I've said that to everyone, and they're like, "Oh, you got to get into season 3." I'm like, "Come on, like you're killing me."
I mean, I like the show. I'm 3 or 4 episodes in, but people loved it.
I was struggling through the first season. I stopped watching after like 4 episodes in season 2, and I
think it was pretty good.
every time I watch, I'm like, I want this to be more.
So the one I really dove into though, and this was not really coronavirus and chill, but it was more or less just right before we went to Florida, was the one that Mark Wahlberg now has.
I watched the
Spencer
trailer.
Confidential.
Yeah, I watched a trailer for that with Post
Wow.
Malone.
Wow.
Is it funny?
No, it's not funny. It's good.
Oh, nice.
It is good. It's a little messed up
It's a blockbuster.
because he is a cop.
Are you gonna tell me the whole story?
No, I'm just going to give you the trailer.
Okay.
Cop beats up another important cop because he believes he's a bad cop, goes to jail. Same day he cuts out, someone might die, and they think it's him, and then he decides to try and figure out who it is.
Nice.
But it is messed up, man. It's great. Good one. Really good one. Very Mark Wahlberg, though.
Yeah, of course.
Set in Boston.
Of course.
You know,
Why
every
wouldn't it be?
movie. Boston PD.
It's a blockbuster.
It's
Blockbuster.
He's in a gym. He works in a boxing gym, you know. Like, what I've realized about a lot of Mark Wahlberg movies is that there's always an opportunity for him to like, have his shirt off or, you know, be working out.
Respect.
Yeah, or doing something like that, 100%. Like, I forget what movie it is where him and The Rock are doing, like, curls.
Pain and Gain.
Yes, that's exactly
That movie was messed up.
I mean,
I didn't like that one.
so any recommendations for the people before the Rome show ends this evening?
History documentaries. If you go on to Netflix,
Okay.
Rise of Empires. And there's 3 seasons about 3 different Roman time periods, and there's one about the rise of the Ottoman Empire, and they're split series documentaries. So it's played out as a series like Game of Thrones, but you also have the dialogue from the historians.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
And you are...
That's just the nerd side of me.
I was going to say, you are a huge history documentarian.
Yes.
So the one that... What's the one on History Channel? The Men Who Built America?
That's right.
I know that's a back in the day one.
Yeah, it's similar to that, except with a little bit more acting.
In what empire?
It's Rise of Empires.
Oh, all right, very
it's
nice.
cool.
Well, I just got YouTube TV and I just got Netflix. I got no recommendations for anybody because most people have already seen Breaking Bad. But super excited to see what happens on Breaking Bad. Even though I don't know.
I want to get into Uncut Gems.
Yeah, there's so much I got to get into. We have the
Yeah.
time. All right, listen. What else you got for the people before we leave the Rome show tonight?
Stay safe.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the biggest thing. And, you know, there is opportunity to laugh and joke and, like, you know, there are funny memes out there and, like, all this other good stuff. But at the end of the day, it is serious.
No, we don't want the corona on anyone.
And we need to make sure that we do wash our hands and we Lysol our stuff. And I'll Lysol this microphone, this whole setup right here for the Hamilton Radio guys after us so that people that have their show later on have a clean studio to come into. Be smart. Be safe. We're going to miss sports. I'll tell you that. So
Sorry.
that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do here at the Rome show, at least we're thinking about doing, this is going to be in the works here over the next weeks or so or whatever. And Trevor Bauer did something like this. He had a wiffle ball game. I don't know if you saw that. Brought together a bunch of players. They played a wiffle ball game
That's
for
the
charity.
Sandlot game, right?
Sandlot game.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna have a Sandlot game where they just kind of play some pickup baseball, raise some money to donate back to the people at the stadiums that aren't gonna be able to make money because the stadiums are closed. So we had kind of had this idea we were messing around with, and I think we're gonna have a little bit more thought on it. But we might come up with the Corona Extreme League or something along those lines where we want to live stream you some really good sports like darts or bocce ball or cornhole, maybe some mini hockey.
Pin the tail on the donkey.
Pin the tail on the donkey. Anything that can give you the opportunity to see competition in a really high intense environment.
So how are we going to present it? Like we'll play and then we'll commentate our highlights?
Yeah, so I'm thinking, or we play, but we also maybe bring some, obviously we're not allowed to have gatherings of more than a certain amount. So we had to socially distance this. But somebody should probably be announcing to the fans.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
So this is going to be in the works here, okay? We need a league name. We need to figure out what our first sport is. We believe it's going to be bocce ball. We have a bocce ball court at our disposal, so that could be something there.
The Professional House Sports Association of America.
That's a long one, though.
I know. I just like Association of America because it's from dodgeball.
Professional House Sports League, PHSL.
PH.
The House Professional Sports League. The at-home professional league. Why do we have to be professionals? Can we be something different?
The House Association of Sports.
Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler. There you go, Paul Vance.
Yeah, I know. I want to watch it.
Dude, Uncut Gems. All right, that's the recommendation. All right, so we need a league name too.
We'll figure it out.
I'm fluctuating between bocce ball, mini hockey, and a mini basketball horse competition.
Ooh.
I know. So I think over the next week we determine that.
What about esports.
Oh, like playing NHL.
We could actually start a league there.
We could start a league there, and like people could come and join us live.
Very possible.
It is very possible.
Further
PlayStation's
discussion.
at my apartment, though.
I know I'd have to travel.
You'd have to travel. You'd be on a road
It's
game
illegal.
all after 8 p.m. Uh-oh. It looks like we got to wrap up the Rome show.
Let's go.
All right, so we will come up with that. I'm thinking maybe. Jen writes in amateur sports series. Not a bad one.
Oh, a series. Nice.
Not a bad one. Very not a bad one. So we'll wrap up that. I was thinking Wednesday might be game day.
Cool.
Wednesday night. Thank you for tuning into the Rome Show here, March 16th, 2020. We will be back next week, March 23rd, here on Hamilton Radio, hamiltonradio.net, channel 2, facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. If you didn't get this full show or you want to listen to it again or you have somebody that you wanted to listen to, send them to my page, Andrew.Romanello. Send them to the Rome Show 1 page on Facebook. They can check out the show after the fact. We're going to get it back on Google, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts starting this week. Our hiatus is over. I have a little bit more time on my hands, so a little bit more time to spend on the Rome Show. Anything you got for the people before we leave?
Slapshot Regatta
Slapshot Regatta. Not a bad
in my
one.
garage.
All right, that's going to be an event.
Yeah.
More details coming soon. Andrew Romanella, Rocky Romanella. This is the Rome Show. We love you, Romo Sapiens. We'll be back next week. Thanks for listening.
To become a better leader, whether that's in business, in sports, or in life, and you haven't found a book yet to help you get to that game-changing aha moment, well, we have the book for you. Tighten the Lug Nuts, the principles of balanced leadership. Tighten the Lug Nuts will help you get to that game-changing leadership moment. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks, or at 360managementservices.com. That's the number 360managementservices.com. Pick up your copy today and start changing your leadership styles.
Do this look like work to you? Nah, looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here, all of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah, all of this for me. Bottles over here, all of this for me, for me. All of this for me, for me. All of this for me, for me. Light flash, all of this.